Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good morning again. Yeah, it's your program, Keep Faith, on Western Spring Television. Spring Delight is the show. Here we go. Let's do it again. Let's do it as usual. It's Keep Faith, Spring Delight on Western Spring Television. Here we go. Good morning. It's another Saturday. Let's do it again and again. Thank you. All right, take it up. Yeah, remember we have to start our exercise with a basic stretching. And this is what we are doing now. You stretch. You don't just get up from your bed and you start exercising like that. That's wrong. You have to start with a basic stretching. And this is what we are doing now. All right. You go back to the other side. All right, let's push it out a bit. You don't force this. You can only take it to your maximum level. All right, let's go down a bit. All right, we take it up. We go down again. All right, let's take it up. All right, up. Your two hands up. We go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's stretch it out. 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 Out again. All right, up. All right, you go to your toes, and then you stretch it up. You stretch it up to the sky. All right, let's bring it down. Okay. All right, you hold your left leg this way. Hold it. Your left leg's up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, you change. Another 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, the leg from the back. All right, we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, to the other legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's stretch. We go to your right side. Now you push with all your power. You push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, to the other side now. And I'll push it. You push, I push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, same exercise. This time around, we push. Now we are taking our palm to the floor. And you look up. You look up and smile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, the same exercise from the other side. All right, the two hands by the side. Out. Now your palm at the floor. You look up and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. All right, let's double it up. Let's double it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we go. Now, hey, clap there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, up. We go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's double it up again. We go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, up, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we got the last one. Faster, 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 faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, the last 10, we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're bringing the knees up to your palm this way, the hand this way, then we're bringing our knees to the palm, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's double it up again. Faster, 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 faster. Faster, 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 faster. Faster. All right, okay. All right, now we go from the side. All right, let's go. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Join us. You can join us in doing this. Keep fit is good for everyone. It's for me and you. We are doing this for the love we have for our body. Let's cool down a bit. All right, you're bringing your hand forward and back to the center. All right, ready? You stand on your toes. All right, here we go. 1, 2. We are not clapping. You don't clap there. You don't clap. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right, change your legs. Your hand this way. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, you change your legs again and get the last 10 there. Keep fit. Arms spring the light. Let's do it again. Good morning. All right. Are you ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, the two hands up this way. Okay, right there, we're bringing our knees to your elbow. The knees and the elbows together. Can you see my own? The knees and the elbows together. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, the two hands up. All right, you stand on the balls of your toes to the sky. Up higher. All right, side. Let's bring it down. All right, we go down a bit. The hands up. So now we are bringing elbows down to the knees. Can you see this? Are we ready? All right, let's take it up again. We are starting from your right. From your right. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1. You come back to the center and to the other side. Side, center, side, center, side, center, side, center, side, center. All right, now we can just stand. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, and then 10 and 10. Okay, let's bring it down a bit. Let's bring it down, let's bring it down, let's bring it down, let's bring it down. The hand forward. We'll go down a bit. All right, let's the elbow on your knees, please. And then you count to 10 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right, we're trying to exercise the total body. So now we're moving to the, let's try the high knee pause and see what we can do with that. High knee pause this way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's demonstration to it. All right, please. Are we ready? We go. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Okay, let's take it up a little bit. Now to the jumping jacks. 10 of it. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we'll go back to the high knee pause. All right, ready? High knee pause. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, to the jumping jacks again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, back to your jumping jacks. The 10 again. Ready? High knee pause, high knee pause, high knee pause. 10. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, back to the jumping jack. 10. Faster. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. All right, let's stretch it out. Let's stretch it out. Let's stretch it out. All right, we can do this. Let's bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we go. Let's stretch it to your side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 10 this way. You bring it up. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. All right, I stretch this. You go side, you go side, you go side, you go side, you go side. Let's go. You follow my side. Can you see my legs? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. Please, these are basic exercises that anybody can do in respect of your age, your sex, or your stature. Please, you can join us and do it. These are basic exercises that anyone can do at any time in the comfort of your home. You can join us as well. Remember, it's a keep it on your daily program. Bring the light. All right, let's bring it out again. All right, down. So now you go to your rope, you stretch to the rope, you stretch, 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 10. You stretch, you stretch, you stretch, you stretch, you stretch, you stretch. This is how you stretch it. You go, now you go in, you go in, look at the rope under there. You move it out, you move it out, you move it out, you stretch your rope, you stretch it, you stretch it. Look at the rope at the sky there. You go up, you go up, you go up. Let's climb the mountain. You go up, you stretch, thank you. You stretch, you smile with it. It's good for your body. Let's stretch. Hey, come on. 1, 2, 3. With all your power, with all your power. Can you see the rope? Like climb the mountain. Let's go. Last 10. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we'll go back to the high knee pause. All right, ready? High knee pause. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, to the jumping jacks again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, back to your jumping jacks. The 10 again. Ready? High knee pause, high knee pause, high knee pause. 10. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, back to the jumping jack. 10. Faster. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. All right, let's stretch it out. Let's stretch it out. Let's stretch it out. All right, we count this. Let's bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we go. Let's stretch it to your side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 10 this way. You bring it up. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. All right, I stretch this. You go side, you go side, you go side, you go side, you go side. Let's go. You follow my side. Can you see my legs? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. Please, these are basic exercises that anybody can do in respect of your age, your sex, or your stature. Please, you can join us and do it. These are basic exercises that anyone can do at any time in the comfort of your home. You can join us as well. Remember, you can keep it on your daily program. Bring the light. All right, let's bring it out again. All right, down. So now you go to your rope, you stretch to the rope, you stretch, 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 10. You stretch, you stretch, you stretch, you stretch, you stretch, you stretch. This is how you stretch it. You go, now you go in, you go in, look at the rope under there. You move it out, you move it out, you move it out, you stretch your rope, you stretch it, you stretch it. Look at the rope at the sky there. You go up, you go up, you go up. Let's climb the mountain. You go up, you stretch, thank you. You stretch, you smile with it. It's good for your body. Let's stretch. Hey, come on. 1, 2, 3. With all your power, with all your power. Can you see the rope? Let's climb the mountain. Let's go. Last 10. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. With all your power. 4. After 4, what do we have? After 4, what do we have?
5.
After, okay, come on, 5. After 5, after 5. After 5. After 5. After no.
Here we go again. It's another beautiful Saturday morning. The light is right face our faces wherever you are watching us from. Good morning to you. If it is morning, whatever time of the day it is out there, I'd like to say thank you and good day to you. Today is the 21st day in the month of September 2024, and it's a spectacular Saturday. At this point in time, it had rained earlier because of when you get to watch the repeat of this program, it probably will be dry. So you don't wonder that, what's happening? I'm saying it's raining and it's dry there. But then, thank you always for keeping faith with us right here at Western Spring Television, the station that says it as it is. Tunde Idowu is my name. At Irresistible TD on X, and it's quite a whole lot of tagging along and quite a whole lot to talk about. Today, as always, promises to be very, very exciting and interesting. Of course, you can see, as we will always preach on this program, that keeping fit is awesome, is needed. And we'd like to say a big thank you to TJ Fitness Center, TJ and U Fitness Center, Walk Thief right here in the city of Osogbo, Osun State Capital. Thank you for keeping us fit. So we'll employ and enjoin you to please keep fit. It is needed at all times. Welcome to Spring Delight. It's a solo run, kind of like, at least for now, on the show. But today, just as I said, it's a significant day in a state in Nigeria, Edo State. And on the 21st of today, being the 21st of September 2024, this day there is an off-cycle election in Edo State that is taking place on this day in Edo State, and we have about 17 political parties coming to contest for the position of the number one seat in Edo State. But some of us, some parties, have looked at it and said, "Hey, it's just a three-man race." People of the governing party, the People's Democratic Party, led by the governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki. You have the All Progressive Congress, who are trying to muscle the PDP out of power, and not leaving out the Labour Party, who with their candidate Olumide Akpata, who nobody's probably looking at, who could they be a surprise? So amongst the other parties that are there, with so much respect to other parties as well. But this is going to be our focus on the show for today. We will be looking at the Edo gubernatorial election on the show, among so many other things that we have for you. We will be going in depth as to happenings from Edo. We'll be getting correspondence from our in-house analyst from here, and we have our colleagues who are actually in Edo State at this point in time, who will help us out to really, really know what is happening, what's on ground right there in Edo State. Welcome to Spring Delight for today. Tunde Idowu, as always, is my name. But right now, I have a political analyst, a social commentator, a veteran journalist, a civil rights activist. He's a man with so many titles, a businessman. He's the other one, I'll leave it to both of us. It's a delight to have Comrade Ologun.
Good morning.
Good
Thank you
morning
for
to
having me.
Thank you. Most of us expected, I know your busy schedule. I was thinking you were going to be in Edo State, but here you are today. Thank you for this honor for being here. Let's analyze the election in Edo State. At the period at which there will be a repeat of this program, the election will have come and gone. But by and large, what do you foresee with this election in Edo State? Looking at so many variables associated to this, the PDP refused to sign a peace accord. What does that portend for the state of security for that action? And also, let's start with, let's look at the election first of all. What do you make of this election, this off-cycle election at this period in time?
Well, just like you have rightly said, the election in Edo is an off-cycle election. And anytime in Nigeria when we have such off-cycle election, it always comes with so much of attention, so much of concentration, and so much of influence. Because, of course, the security apparatus of the country becomes more concentrated in such a place. Political gladiators find such place as a point of reference to go and score one political point or the other. And of course, you can imagine that such election often is a pointer to what the entire country will see as a trajectory for the general election, and in this case, the general election coming in 2027. It's quite unfortunate that in Edo, the actions and the incidences that preceded this election coming up today has not been with so much good news. It has not. We've not seen positive indicators to a free and fair election in the build-up to this election. And there have been a lot of back and forth. There have been a lot of accusations and counter-accusations. There have been accusations against the wreck of that place. You remember just a couple of weeks, less than a week ago, the People's Democratic Party accused INEC of imposing on them a wreck that happens to be the cousin of the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. And of course, they are saying that that is an indicator that the election might be compromised. There's also been allegations that the security forces, of course, I read this morning that the National Security Advisor is threatening to slam a suit on the PDP chairman of that state for alleging that $2 million or so have been earmarked to bribe security forces to ensure that they influence the outcome of the election for the APC. The PDP candidate has accused the candidate of the APC, that of the APC has accused that of the PDP. And then you want to wonder why we have had so much violence prior to this election. These are not good indicators. And from information available from reports that have been gotten this morning, INEC seemed so unprepared for that election. Election was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. Yeah. And the information we had that as at 8 o'clock this morning, there were still about over 20 buses that are yet to move from the INEC headquarters in Benin. And these are not buses that are going to the next street. Some of them are still going to have a 1 hour, 2 hours journey. Some of them are still going, when the road ends, they're still going to travel through the water. So if INEC materials, election materials have not left INEC offices at 8 o'clock, for an election that was supposed to start at 8, you can imagine when those items will eventually get to their location, when election will likely start in such location. So this means that INEC has not proven competence. INEC has failed to prove readiness in this election. And one will have thought that the only saving grace that the people of Edo will have had will have been the INEC, if only they've done the right thing. But with the look of things, the election in that state is not looking in any way going to be free. I'm not a prophet of doom, but with indicators and with pointers, the election in that place is most unlikely to be free, most unlikely to be fair, not to talk about credibility. But at the end of the day, a winner will emerge. But like I said on another platform earlier before now, there is the likelihood of a runoff in that election if the trajectory and the pointers prior election is looking this bleak. But whichever way it is, I hope that the best candidate will emerge.
Now, as it is now, the peace accord, which we're all familiar with, that former head of state, General Abdulsalam Abubakar, Reverend Father Kuka would, and their entourage would always go about doing, just to make sure that there's peace and everything goes as it should be. But all of a sudden, Edo, the PDP in Edo said they will not be signing this. What scare do you think this might cause security-wise?
It's not going to cause any scare. For me, the signing of a peace accord is simply symbolic. But if you look deeper, it is also a ruse. With due apology, with due reference to Bishop Kuka and the rest of the team that are in charge of this peace accord thing. But when you talk about processes, there is nowhere in the guideline and processes of INEC for any election where signing of peace accords is mandatory. It's only an aside. So the effect, whether peace accord was signed or not, has no direct impact, so to say, on the outcome of that election. And I just say, let me say this. We live in a country where we try to make up for our failures. One of the ways to make up for failures is this signing of the peace accord. Like I said, it has no relevance in the process of the electioneering campaign or the election or the declaration of winner eventually. When you talk about peace, the only thing by which peace can be guaranteed is justice. So it's not just enough to sign on a dotted line of paper and say that, look, I'm committed to peace in this election, when there are no indications or when there are no things, when there are no things put in place to ensure justice. It is only when there is justice that you can be thinking about peace. So if prior to an election, there is the potentiality of security agencies being compromised, if before the election, There are potentialities of INEC failing to do the needful by proper screening of the candidates and ensuring that all of their own laws are abided with. If prior to election, there are indicators that electoral materials are either not going to be enough or will not get to the expected places, then you don't talk about peace. So if you are thinking of peace in an electoral process, justice must be ensured. Imagine, like I said earlier, a polling unit that you ask people to go and queue at 8 o'clock, and electoral materials did not arrive there at 10. By the time the electoral material eventually arrive at 10 or past 10, expect that there will be a chaos. People will react. People that you've kept in the rain or in the sun or in the cold for 2 hours know that you will spend another 30 minutes or 1 hour at least after the arrival of the items to set up the polling booth.
Yes, please.
So election may not start until 3 hours after. And the people that are the vote have been there 3 hours before. So there will be reactions. There will be chaos. So if eventually election in such ways becomes volatile and it becomes destructive, you don't blame the people for not upholding peace when in itself INEC has failed to do the needful by ensuring justice. So for me, whether the peace accord was signed by one party, and I'm just saying this, I'm not speaking for the PDP, but there's the likelihood that the PDP, with all the accusations they've laid at the door of INEC, security forces, and the APC, are already envisaging a most unlikely peaceful or fair election. So signing that peace accord might be an indicator to endorsing failure. That's another angle to it. So they might possibly have felt that, look, if eventually this election is not free and fair, and we have gone to commit to peace in the name of an accord, that means we're encouraging or endorsing failure. But by and large, it's good to be at peace, but not signing a dotted line in the name of peace accord has no relevance, no bearing on security or the outcome of that election in that state.
Or do you see probably the PDP are simply scared of defeat? That's why they are not signing the peace accord.
Whether they sign it or not, if the defeat will come, it would. And that's why I'm happy that I read a day ago that even though there was a caveat, that the PDP will accept defeat in a fair election. So the key word there is fairness. So whether they sign, if they can sign the peace accord and still lose, they can fail to sign the peace accord and still win, because the peace accord has no relevance in the electoral process. It has no relevance at all. So it's not a fact that failure to sign their peace accord will mean that they are going to fail the election or they are going to win an election.
Exactly.
So whichever way it goes, the peace accord is simply symbolic. It does not, is not an indicator for failure or for success in an election. So whether the PDP is afraid of losing or not is immaterial to now connect that with their failure to sign the peace accord. What gives you victory in an election is your homework being well done, people accepting your candidates, and people not only accepting your candidate, but going out to vote for your candidate. These are the three indices by which victory is guaranteed. So if they are failed in any of these three, signing or not signing the peace accord will have no influence.
All right, quickly, because of the want of time, and let's look at the voter registration and looking at the number of people who have been able to pick up their PVCs. I think we have about 68.3%, which is the first time in the history of INEC that large number of people, which is about 2.2 million voters, do you see them having the opportunity of performing this civic right to the fullest without a little bit of scare in their heart?
I disagree.
Okay.
When you say 68.something% is a good score in an election for voters turnout, is appalling. Look, one thing we have failed to know as a people is that you have no right to complain about being badly governed if you are not part of the process. So if you take the 68% out, that is leave us with about 32%.
Yes.
Imagine that 32% comes out to vote for one particular candidate, and that candidate has 30 of the previous 38. That candidate is already the winner.
Absolutely.
So we should not try to make what is bad look good, even though it is the biggest that the INEC has recorded. But it's an indictment upon INEC itself, because it shows that confidence in INEC is eroded by people not picking up their voters' card to vote on the day of election. That's number one. Number two, there's even no facts to justify or to say, hopefully, that 68 point something percent will go out on the day of election to go and vote. So at the end, the fact that 68 point something percent collected PVC does not mean all of them will go out to vote. And to now add salt to the injury, people that are being persuaded to come out on the day of election to vote are the same people that you are keeping on the feet without electoral material. So of all the people that might have been at the polling booth by 8 o'clock today, and electoral material does not arrive until about 10:30, 11, many of them will have gone back home, and many of them will not return to vote. So at the end of the day, we might be having about 40% compliance. I mean, 40% of the total number of people that collected voters' card coming out for election. So when we're talking about voters' apathy, it is important that INEC in itself does, do everything possible to minimize voter apathy. But in a situation whereby voting equipment or voting materials fail to get to the polling book at the time it was supposed to, you have already created an apathy for voters. Many of them will live in anger. Many of them will react by the time eventually the items comes, and there might be chaos, which eventually will lead to cancellation of votes. So as much as we encourage people to come out to collect voters' card and vote, it is more imperative to impress it on INEC not to be a failure. Because for me, it's not just that we live in a country where there are no consequences for action. Yes. Somebody should be asking questions by now. You know you had enough time to plan. So if you know election was going to start in a place by 8, what stops the movement of electoral materials by 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. from INEC offices when we have very good number of security forces? It's an off-season election. Yeah. So we have more security forces in that place, but whether as police or as the military or the NSCDC. So the question of safety of electoral materials shouldn't have arisen. So why do you have to wait till 8 o'clock before you move electoral material? So INEC in itself is creating what I call voter apathy. And it's quite unfortunate that no matter how small, no matter the percentage of people that eventually vote, it is that percentage that will determine who eventually will govern that state. Okay. And those who fail to collect PVC or who fail to vote will be the ones to sit in the corner of their room to say that they've elected what they don't want. So if you don't want somebody to emerge as your governor, it is your moral right, it is your it is your national duty to ensure that you go out on the day of election to go and cast vote for who you believe. You don't know what difference that your one vote will make. So imagine, like I said, that there are 2% remaining that are failed to collect the PVC, assuming that the 2% collected their PVC and all of them vote for a candidate. Or that the other that candidate will be needed from the 62 or 68% will just be about 20-something added to that. And we'll have, so sometimes we allow the worst of us to rule the best of us because we fail to do the needful.
All right, Comrade Ologun, before I allow you go this morning, I've just been told that one of my colleagues who is in Edo State is on the line at this moment in time. So let's just get abreast as to what it looks like there. They are there because I know earlier today we heard that even as at 8 a.m. the INEC materials had not moved to the polling center. Which of my colleague is on the line this morning? Let's find out. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Okay. Good morning.
Hey, Lekon Akidoju is Lekon, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing today?
Very well. Good to see you in a Lekon, can you put up your phone on landscape so that we can get a clearer view of you? Oh, good. Better? All right, good. So, Lekon, what is it looking like as at this time? This is some few minutes to 10 in Edo. Bring us up to speed as to happenings in Edo.
Yes, so we are at this moment in the second local government that we've been through. Firstly, we were at Edo local government. Now I'm at Ikubaoka local government. Okay. This particular local government is the second one, but election here has started. Election, of course, voting according to INEC guidelines should start at 8:30. But if you look at this particular place, I'm going to be doing some maybe flipping so that you can see the voters who are just behind me too. And this polling unit that I am now, it's a large one. It's called Iwonbere.
Don't worry, don't mind. We'll take the name pronunciation like that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so this particular place, you would find 20 polling units inside this primary school.
20.
So you find 20 polling unit inside this particular primary school, and voting has started. Yeah, I should state that we were previously at Ologun local government. We were at Ologun Model School, where that school also served as a rack center. But as at the time we left there at about 9 a.m. Yes. As at that time, even voting had not started in some polling units inside that primary school. And as at that time also, materials were still being taken to some polling, because like I said, it served as a rack where they distribute materials to polling units, and which of course meant that voting started late in some polling units. But at this particular place, voting has started.
All right. What's the turnout? What's the turnout like at this moment? Though behind you, we can say that we have quite a lot of people there. But what's the frenzy looking like for those who have actually come out at this point, as at this time of the day?
So it's still early in the morning. People are just coming in. The turnout is not yet impressive. But I should let you know that we, of course, will expect that more people will come. It appeared that it wanted to rain this morning. There were little drizzles and all of that. But at this time, it's not, the rain has stopped. So we expect that more people will come out. Some of the fears that people also had was about security.
Yes, please.
People were afraid that there may be issues, security issues, because of what they heard ahead of this particular election, rhetorics and all of that. So, it appears that let's see if more people will come out at this time. But at this time, the turnout is not yet impressive, because you would expect that for a place where you find 20 polling units, you would expect this place to be filled up, even more than what you can see at this time. So we hope that more people will come out to cast their vote.
All right. Leko Akidoju, just keep us updated. We'll keep up talking to you and Joseph as well. Well, keep up the good works. Thanking you indeed for being here with us as well, Leko.
All right.
All right. Leko Akidoju there in Edo State. Comrade, look at that. 20 polling units in 1 point. And the turnout, you could see it's a bit scanty. What do you make of this?
For me, I put this whole blame on Heine. And it's a failure of the electoral body that we are not having the needed credible election. For God's sake, I think somebody was saying it this morning that we had the first election in Nigeria in 1923.
1923.
That's about 80 years. And yet we are still here. One thing they have failed to realize is that having 20 polling units at one point is risky, because if crisis breaks out in any of those polling units, it has a tendency of a ripple effect on all other polling, which means if that school now, somebody throws a banger there, or there is a fight in one polling unit and it escalates, the vote in all those 20 polling units becomes automatically cancelled, because by the provision of INEC, any election that is characterized with violence gets cancelled. So which means, God forbid, anyway, maybe God will not forbid, but then once you have problem in one of those polling units, it escalates and spreads to the other 20 polling units,
yes.
and all of the results there becomes cancelled. So what do you expect? People becomes disencouraged that their vote does not count just because the electoral body failed to do the needful. And even look at the turnout.
Yeah.
I was talking about voter party the other time. So I'm not encouraged by the fact that 68 point something percent collected PVC. How does that translate into how many of them will come out to vote? In a school where we have 20 polling units, and yet we can see how scanty, at least from the background of your reporter that reported now, you can see how scanty voters are, which tells you that eventually if we have up to 40% of those who collected PVT in that state coming out to vote, it will be a miracle. And it's quite unfortunate.
Let's quickly look at this. Edo State is governed by the People's Democratic Party, but from the federal level, the All Progressive Congress is at the helm of affairs. And for us all, we all know what had happened over the years, who Oshiomhole, who took over from Oshiomhole and then eventually moved to the other party. That's the incumbent governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki. For you, do you probably foresee the federal might playing to get APC back in power here?
Of course, there's a likelihood of the influence of
Federal might.
federal might. Oshiomhole wants to score a point because if you look at the alignment over time,
Mm.
and Oshiomhole, against all odds, produced an Obaseki who at that time was a neophyte politically. Shortly into a few months into the administration of Obaseki, like they will say in the streets, Shemeji court, they started having issues. And now, Oshiomhole is carrying another candidate to take over from Obaseki to prove a point that I make you and I cannot make you. And Obaseki also wants to prove a point that I also need to produce a successor, just like you produce me as your own successor. And don't forget that the Obaseki had a running battle with his deputy, who either though was a political son to Oshiomhole and is being touted to have come back home now. So while the former deputy, the former deputy to Obaseki, Philip Schreiber, we want to prove a point to his boss that I made you popular, I made you win election. Now teaming up with an Oshiomhole, who also wants to prove a point that, oh, Obaseki, you are a betrayer. They will go to any length to want to prove a point. And now we have Oshiomhole as a senator of the Federal Republic, very close to the president. So you can't rule out the possibility of influence of the federal might, which is most often feasible by compromise of INEC or by ensuring that the security operative or security apparatus that comes for that election is used against the incumbent just to ensure that a point is scored. But whichever way it goes, I just hope that we eventually learn a lesson as a people that it is not about election is not meant to prove any point. Election is about electing who has the capacity to develop a state at a point in time. They should not continue to use it as a pawn to prove a point of political superiority or otherwise. And unfortunately, that is where most states find themselves. And Edo is not an exception in this election.
All right. Comrade Ologun, always a delight sitting with you.
Thank you very
I know you're such a very busy person. You need to move. But then, while you're on the road, I know we will definitely keep talking to give us updates as to whatever you heard concerning Edo State. Thank you indeed, Comrade Ologun.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We're still talking Edo Governorship off-cycle election on the program this morning, and very shortly again, we hope to keep getting more and more reports from our correspondents who are in Edo State at this point in time. But here we go. If it is your birthday today, or you have celebrated in the course of the week, why don't we allow us celebrate you? For those who we know, for those who we don't know at this moment, I will say happy birthday, congratulations to you. So let's celebrate with those who had celebrated in the course of the week or celebrating today on the next segment on Spring July. Stay with us. right, you're welcome back. Thank you for being here. Spring Delight is still the program from Western Spring Television. And majorly today, we are focusing our attention on the ongoing off-cycle election in Edo State. Today, 21st day in the month of September 2024. We have our correspondents who are there who have been giving us an insightful analysis as to happenings in Edo State. So, but then we will surely keep you up to speed and abreast of happenings in Edo State. Lekon Akindoju had actually called us earlier. We still expect to hear from Joseph Atewe and others who are live in Edo State. But we'd like to say congratulations to everyone who has celebrated their birthdays in the course of this week. Most notably, today being the 21st of September, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Today's her birthday. Born 21st day in the month of September 1960. Wow, that's quite an age. She's of age about 64 today, I think. Yeah, not a kid's play. So we say congratulations to Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu on her birthday today. Congratulations to you, man. Wish you the very best. Not leaving out Ernest Ojuku as well. Not forgetting Cynthia Morgan, one of Africa's finest music artists. Cynthia Morgan too, celebrating today. And yeah, we like to call him Papi here. Mr. Kende, Benedict Kende. Congratulations to you. Many more wonderful years as well. All right, let's come back home. And if you're just joining us, we are talking and we have been looking at the off-cycle election in Edo State, which is actually taking place at this point in time. So we will continue our analysis with getting insightful coverage of what is happening in Edo State. But then let me just bring you up to speed before I bring in our next guest. As all eyes are on Edo State off-cycle election, whereby eligible voters in Edo State have gone to the polls today to elect a new governor that will take over from the incumbent Governor Obaseki, who will complete his statutory 8-year tenure by the 12th of November 2024. But the political atmosphere in Edo State is reaching a feverish pitch. The frenzy is on, typical of elections in Nigeria, as electioneering has always been characterized by the usual carpet crossing, alignments and realignments, horse trading and violence. Campaign for the converted seat have been intense. Candidates from 17 political parties are in the contest. However, the election seems to be a three-horse race, swinging between the APC, the PDP, and the Labour Party. Olumide Akwata of the Labour Party and Monday Okobelo of the All Progressive Congress, not leaving out the leading candidates. That's the People's Democratic Party candidate, Aswe Iho Dalu. But the rivalry between the PDP, the governing party in Edo State, and APC, the party in charge at the national level, is more of a status and influence contest between two former allies, Governor Godwin Obaseki and his predecessor, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, who is now a senator. Now, before the duo parted ways, they were political bedfellows, such that against all protestations, Oshiomhole, as the outgoing governor in 2016, ensured that Obaseki, who then was a political learner, became the governor of the state on the platform of the APC. But soon after the inauguration of Obaseki, the honeymoon between him and his then benefactor Oshiomhole was over. Both men became political enemies and never agreed again politically. It's the right of I sat back and I like looked at it and said, hey, why do we still have things like this in the political space, the political atmosphere in Nigeria? But then I will not be asking myself that question. I have joining me in the house this morning, a former chairman, editorial board, Daily Independent newspaper. It's always a pleasure. It's always a delight to have Prince Kanmi Ademiluyi in the house. Good morning to you, Prince.
Good morning. Good
And
morning,
thank you
Tunde.
indeed for taking time out.
Thank you. Sir.
I want to say, yeah, you have you're a bit you are close to the Edo setup, being
my wife comes in.
who actually you got married to
Yeah.
over the years, and of course you've seen what it looks like. But give us a brief historical understanding of what it looks like for Edo people when it comes to coming up with a thing like what they are doing at the moment in time here.
Well, I mean, it's giving from where they are coming from.
Mm.
I think the whole thing is very disappointing. But the story of Nigeria, too, because the Midwest was created in 1963.
Mm.
And it subsequently, of course, became Bendel, Edo, and Delta. But given the fact that the level of education, the impact of Western education, I think you expected Edo, both Edo and Delta, to be much, much more developed and ahead than they are today. They, unlike the kind of leaderships they've had in the past, when people like Enahoro stuff were there, Ambrose Ali, so many outstanding people, Ogbemudia. What you have today are really very below par when you look at where they started from. Like I said, from people like Anthony
Enahoro.
So many good people, across the board. They fought an election now, for want of a better word, in which there's no template. We haven't seen any candidate, unless I've missed it, who has come out with a coherent social and economic policy. That this is costed, because you can't just be making vacuous utterances. You should put facts and figures there as to what, within a limited amount of time, 4 years, this is what I'm going to be able to do, the amount of jobs to be created, the enabling environment to create those jobs, the investment in infrastructure, and so on and so forth. Look, I mean, if you look at, they had faults and flaws, but if you look at people like Jack Ode and Samin Bakwe, they had only 4 years, 3 months. But look at what they achieved in those 4 years, 3 months. It was a lot. And it cannot be forgotten even in 100 years' time. There were differences of opinion as to the dotting of I's and the crossing of T's. But now the people running here, do you really have any confidence that in 4 years' time you would have said, just like Jack Onde and Mbakwe, that they made such a... They're not giving anybody the confidence that they are. So to me, when you look at Edo State, like virtually most of the country, it's the disappointment, given the past, the traditions, the cultural norms. They should have done much, much better than this.
So what would be your reading of the election in Edo State taking place as of today, looking at the variables that influence those who emerge and those who doesn't?
Well, if you're looking for a calculation, it's all very confusing at the moment, because you have an election in parentheses superintended by, in my opinion, a completely incompetent electoral body.
That's INEC?
Yes,
okay.
If you want to call them that. You've had 4 years to prepare for an exam. There is obviously, from the reports we're getting from your very good people, you've got good people on the ground there. I've been listening to your reports since, I think, about 7:30. They're doing a good job.
Thank you so much.
Let me be honest. It is obvious that this thing could have been written, that report could have been filed in 2 days ago, or even last week. What is expected? Zero interest in logistics. No scenario planning. When you and I were students, in my own case about 10 million years ago, schools normally did mock exams, have you? There was a reason for that. There were preps, all that kind of thing. These people need, you say turnout is low. First of all, the meteorological services must have told you about 6 months ago what the weather condition. The weather condition anywhere in the world, it will bound to affect turnout. And then now, part of the weather condition, you are now not arriving at the polls on time. You know that there are riverine areas which take forever to get to. What effort did you make? Like Comrade Ologun, I think,
yes, please.
Ologun said on a previous program, that they should have made sure that those materials were there by 4 in the morning, this morning, in a country without roads.
And looking at the number of security personnel that were deployed,
that itself shows you the kind of broken down country. You are deploying 35,000 to one state in an off-season election. There are two issues here. How many are you going to deploy on the day that all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory are having elections on the same day? The policing in Nigeria is grotesquely ordered. The country, if you go by the United Nations standards, we have about 2.1 policemen. We have about 400,000 or less than 400,000. Egypt, with a population half the size of Nigeria, has, don't laugh, 1.7 million police officers. Not soldiers, though. 1.7 million. Please fact check it. I know you always have excess data on your phone. If you have 35,000 people deployed as of this morning to Edo State, where you pull those people out from? How many people are fighting bandits? How many people are fighting headers who make incursions into other states, including Oyo State next door, Plateau State, the dislocation of agriculture and stuff, Benue State, Plateau. So if you have pulled out 35,000, where you pull them out from? They must have been doing something. They were stationed in Edo State. And if you need 35,000 people to patrol an election, it shows that you are running a broken down society. We have seen other African countries. You see, the problem with Nigeria, and that is why people are not taking the future of their children and grandchildren seriously. The problem with Nigeria is that Nigeria is sliding into irrelevance. How many soldiers did you see on the streets of Nairobi or Mombasa when Kenya had the elections about a year ago, I think? How many are you going to see in Ghana on the 7th of December when they hold the election? And not surprisingly, turnout in the last election in Ghana was 70%. A report by the BBC 2 days ago, they are anticipating turnouts of about 75 to 80%. Turnout in Nigeria, if you get 30%, you shout hallelujah. There's something fundamentally wrong. The whole militarized process in Edo State is not going to encourage the faint of heart to go and vote.
All right, please, let me hold you
I'm
down.
sorry.
You're doing well, thank you, sir. I've just been told that Lekon Akindoju is on the line.
He's good.
From Edo State. Is okay. Okay, we have a visual from Lekon Akindoju. Let's take it. I'll continue with Prince Ademiluyi.
We are live in Edo State for the Edo 2024 governorship election. This election is very important. It's a big day for the people of Edo State, and they will be voting for a new governor who will replace Godwin Obaseki, who will be completing his 8-year tenure in November. We are at Oredo Nursery and Primary School. That is in Oredo local government. It's in Benin, the capital of Edo State. But it's also a rack where materials are distributed to polling units. But if you can see, at this time, it is almost 9 a.m. and the materials have not yet been moved to the polling unit. So this is a signal to the fact that elections will start late in some polling units. Elections, according to INEC guidelines, voting should begin at 8:30 in the morning and it should close at 2:30 up until the last person on the line has voted. This particular rack also has a number of polling units, and these polling units are for some of them, they are just voting. It is not all, but just a few of them, because there are about 4 polling units at this particular rack. But we can see just 1 or 2 polling units have started voting at this time. So we expect that the polls will out on time so that voting will start in those other areas. For Western Spring Television News, Olalekan Akindoju.
All right, thank you most sincerely, Lekon Akindoju. And quickly, also, I have Joseph Atewe. He's also on the line from Edo State. Joseph, good morning to you there.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Joseph, good morning. Okay, good. Good to see you again. How are you? Where are you? What is it looking like at this moment in time?
Please come again.
Where exactly in Edo State are you at this point in time? And what is it looking like? What's the turnout in Edo at the polling station in which you are?
Okay, as you can see, showing you around here.
Okay.
This is Igbimevia in Okoba Ohia local government. This primary school, of course, you can see around here houses 20 different polling units, 20 of them. And of course, you can see the people around it. A lot of people here. As a matter of fact, they say it's one of their flag point area, and that is where we are at the moment. And well, as usual, election started when it was supposed to start. As you can see, the process is going on, and 8:30 on the dot it started, and the people, of course, are outside exercising their franchise at the moment. But the only difference here will be, people believing that there's some persons, sneaking around, saying that money exchanging hands. That we can confirm. But of course, we've seen people going into different places, trying to, I don't know, saying hello. Those hellos comes with clauses, and that's the problem as well. But yes, I can confirm to you that money, of course, exchange hands according to what we've seen at the moment here.
All right. But what is it also looking like? Yeah, because I heard you say it's about 20 polling stations, polling units where you are. And that few set of people are just those there. Is there an aspect of tension that has probably you feel has restricted people from coming out?
Well, that's why I'm, putting up the camera like that for you to see. The turnout here is massive. The turnout here is massive. People here have come out in the numbers, of course, to vote. And it's just a lot compared to the Oredo local government. There are a lot of people here. Don't forget, we told you that according to the weather forecasters, it's going to rain, and we've had light shower, and the weather looks very cloudy at the moment. But yes, massive turnout here at the Igbimevia and Okoba Ohia local government here in Odo State. I told you primary school houses like 20 local government. Let's speak to one of the voters, Mr. Sebastian. Mr. Sebastian, happy to have you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Sebastian, of course, your life.
Yes, we are very glad, and the threat and all the hulu baloo that is flowing around is not present here in this ward 5 of Neva Primary School, St. Saviour, Benin City. So we are expecting other polling stations to be like this, so that in future elections, the voters will be encouraged and they will come out en masse to cast their vote.
Okay. If I may ask you one question, even as say as soon as vote, what do they go do for backyard? They go peace. I mean, a small change, go collect.
No, I've not experienced that, but I can see that our politicians these days, they want to entice people with money. But some of them, after voting, they can go and sit at the front of the classroom, expecting their vote to be counted.
Let's see the classroom. These are the classrooms.
Yeah, these are the classrooms where people seated.
Okay, all these people there, so they collect fresh air.
They collect fresh air. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sir. And quickly, you have voted?
Of course. Look at my hand. It's already.
Yeah, and the process was
very peaceful, reliable, and dependable as at now.
Thank you, Mr. Sebastian.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Of course, you just heard from Mr. Sebastian, of course, talking about that he has voted and the process was swift. We, of course, monitoring the surface in the sense that people are voting, but we are going deep. We believe the money is exchanging hands here.
But Joseph, quickly, what's the presence of security agents like there?
Well, security agents, yes, you can have them, but then we expected more here because just like you can see, so that viewers at home can see the amount of people. You probably have, I said 20 polling units, so you have 2 or 1 security official, agents rather, at different polling units. And Well, no guns allowed inside here, except the military who have come here twice, parading, trying to see, checking for vote buying. They are suspecting as well. Going to these corners I've mentioned, entering into the classrooms that were locked. As a matter of fact, they had to bring out someone from the classroom, asking what he was doing there, if he was there to vote or relax. So these are some of the big questions. But our security operatives inside the polling unit, as you can see on your screen, are not what we expected. But outside the primary school, you have massive security there. As when we go here, there was also a tank. Yes, not a police van, a tank that was outside when we go here in the morning.
All right, Joseph, keep us abreast as to happenings from Edo. Thanking you indeed for your time.
All right, thank you guys. Of course, we'll connect. Once we leave here, we're going to another local government, and of course, we'll bring you up to speed.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Enjoy the rest of your day, and well done. Back to the studio, Prince Kanmi Ademiluyi here. We just heard my colleague there, Joseph Atewe, telling us of happenings where they, looking at there, at least at this period in time, what we have actually longed for is what is happening: peace. Everybody going to the polling unit to do what they want to do, and just try and monitor and see what it looks like. Shouldn't this be what it should look like?
It should. I mean, he's the report from Joseph at good incisive reporting, like Lekon. Actually, two things interested me there.
Yes,
one was that, well, I don't know his definition, to be honest, but we ought to be data propelled of massive, but obviously he was impressed with the turnout, which makes me happy because given the slovenliness of the authorities, and if he uses the word massive, I believe him. That's very uplifting. I hope it's massive across, because actually, personally, I believe that voting should be compulsory, like you have in Australia, Brazil, the Seychelles, because the social contract should be based on compulsory voting and the paying of taxes. And of course, you must have a level of efficiency if it's not, because in Australia, if you don't vote, it's 1 month's minimum wage. That's fine. But then the state must have a level of competence and efficiency to make sure that you vote, even if you're in a hospital, which is admirable. The other point, very quickly, because I know you want to go somewhere, is about vote buying.
Yes.
It's expected because poverty has been weaponized. But there are two issues to be looked at. The critical issue is that if there's vote buying today,
yes, please,
money must have been moved.
How did he?
Unless you are printing money in somebody's house, which is dangerous. So you mean that on the eve of an election, the security forces were not monitoring the movement of money? You see, you cannot reduce a country into a joke. No, I mean, you say there's going to be election in Oshogbo on next week, Saturday. If you have security agencies worth the salt, for my layman's understanding, I would have thought that from 2 days ago, they are monitoring banks, POS, or anybody mopping up money. The money that they are distributing, wherever they distribute across Edo State today, what did they printed them overnight? So you can't say that you frown at them. They must have. There are movements of money. So all these things, you see, I'm not bothered. I'm not a moralist. But there are consequences to what we are doing in this country. First of all, you are weaponizing poverty. Because if the majority, or if 35 to 38% of intending voters are beyond vote buying, that means your economic level has reached a certain level. You get what I mean?
Yes, please.
The fact that people can still take money shows one thing, which is dangerous, right? That you are running a country in which disposable income is too low to attract investment. Let me give you a quick example, since you get what I mean.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
In 1957, the Western region, of which we're a part, was paying a minimum wage 18% above the federal level and 23% higher than the East and the North. It looked like a gimmick, electoral gimmick. But 2 years later, they had to do an emergency cabinet meeting review in Eastern Nigeria. Chief C.N. Okeke, who was the father of a schoolmate of mine at St. Gregory's College, told me this about 40 years ago, that they noticed that investments, factories, processes, which logically should have been coming to the east, were going to Western Nigeria instead. So how come? Which Babalawo was working for them? And they discovered that because disposable income was higher in Western Nigeria, investments was going there. Very quickly, if you are still at the stage of vote buying, what you are telling a potential investor is that the disposable income to buy the products of that factory you want to locate in Agumbelewu or in Ikirun is too low to make that investment worthwhile. You see, these people think that they are messed. It's good. I mean, they will win election, buy houses in Dubai. But look, these are dangerous signals because any credit risk analyst will look at it that if people are still selling their votes, it's because they don't have income. They don't have disposable income. They need that extra 3,000, 5,000. Why? You want me to locate a factory that will cost about, let us say, 4 billion naira in a place where people don't have the money to be purchasing the singlet or boxer or whatever that I mean. You don't have to have worked in a bank or be an accountant or an economist to do simple credit risk analysis. And these are the dangerous signals you are sending to potential investors that your country does not have. You see, it's not your population that is the issue. It's the disposable income. That's what the regional government, this is not a partisan thing. If the regional government in Western Nigeria prove this beyond any reasonable doubt, that if you convince the investor that people have disposable income, they will come. So instead of going to Eastern Nigeria and Northern Nigeria, they were not coming to Western Nigeria because there was more disposable income as reflected in their higher wage level. The higher wage level, instead of bankrupting the government, was actually bringing in revenues through investments which have to be taxed. We're sending dangerous signals. I'm sorry I took too long, but these are things that I mean, because you and I have cousins, we have nephews, nieces who are going to be giving youth called discharge certificate. Are you going to get the kind of investment that will give them good, solid, well-paying jobs when the credit risk analysts are saying, Nigeria, they don't have disposable income to buy? You get what I mean?
Yes, please.
And I think we should take life perhaps a bit more seriously than we are taking it.
But Prince, let's look at the zoning arrangement, which is always one of those things that we tend to always look at when elections come in Nigeria here. Will the people of Edo State go for this zoning arrangement or for someone who is most competent for the job?
Well, zoning is a reflection of the development of the country. And you are talking about somebody who is more competent for the job. In this election, from what we have been following, who has presented himself as an overarching performance, who you say, look, even if my cousin is running, I'm going to vote. Nobody has presented themselves as outstanding. Nobody has run on a manifesto that has ignited the public. That boys will forget about it. You get so invariably, zoning, will come into play because nobody has actually distinguished itself for people to cut across that and say, look, forget about where this man comes from. It's going to make the life of my children better. Nobody has sold himself as that. What we've had are personality throwing of brickbats and making of others. So zoning will count, unfortunately, but it's because that is what the political establishment and their backers want. It's bound to count because if you, and especially Edo State in a way resembles Benue, where you have a dominant ethnic group, like the chiefs. Because if you look at it, 50% of the registered voters are from Edo South, and 52% of PVCs collected are from Edo South. It's bound to make a difference. Whoever at least picks up about 50% of the votes in Edo South is already way ahead. So it's going to, zoning is bound to pay, but whether the person whose zoning should favor most, I don't want to measure anybody and contravene the electoral laws, whether he has the structures and the grassroots mobilization to take advantage, we'll know in a few hours' time. But zoning is bound to be an issue because you have not, you see, you have not breathed about, I mean, there's no ideological propel. Let me give you two good historical examples very quickly. When you have an ideological based system, people forget about where you came from. A good example is Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
Where Nkrumah came from represented only 3% of the population of Ghana. It didn't stop him from getting elected because they presented a clear, convincing position. And the people who actually, the opposition, came from the biggest tribe were beaten hands down, even in their own Ashanti region. The same thing in Tanzania. Yere came from a small tribe, less than 6% of the total population on Tanzania. It didn't stop him. Where people present themselves, where they give people a compelling reason that I forget about where I'm coming from, I'm going to make your life better, people will take the chance. But what compelling reason has any of these people, not to my knowledge anyway, that I've seen that there's a compelling reason where, oh boy, look, in the privacy of the ballot box, I'm not voting for my tribesman, I'm voting for this because this guy is going to make the life of my children and my own life better. None of them has given that call, and it's a shame.
But let's look at what transpired even before the election, where the People's Democratic Party, the governing the ruling party in Edo State, refused to sign the peace accord. But for you, sir, what do you think this portend? Wouldn't this be a bit of a scare security-wise?
I don't think so. You've got 35,000 boots on the ground. For the population and landmass of
Edo State,
that's huge. I don't think anybody's going to be dissuaded. If you're going to vote, you vote whether they sign the peace accord or not. You cannot have peace without justice. And I think we should discuss this peace committee thing. It's getting irritating because what peace have they ensured in all these places where people were signing peace accord? You sign a peace accord that you know is a charade. What you are doing is jeopardizing your own position because you are legitimizing a fraud. You better be careful about it. Even if you sign, I'm telling you, before you sign an insurance document or a tenant landlord lease agreement, you better look at the small print. Take advice from your lawyer because you might be signing away your rights. If these people feel that the peace accord is a variance and can be used against them, you sign peace. They be stupid to have signed it. I don't blame them, and I don't think that I think they should forget about this peace accord thing because you see, you are even advertising the fact that there's something wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, Nigeria should not be at this stage. We had our first election in Nigeria, in Lagos at Calabar, in 1923. How can we now say that 1923 is a long time ago?
Absolutely.
How can we now say that we are still at the stage where you are signing meaningless peace accord? Amazing. We should have passed this stage 50 years ago. And I personally think that it's another way of demarketing the country.
All right. Prince, let's hold on a bit and we'll take a short break now. And when we return, hopefully we'll be able to still speak with one or two other people who are in Edo State to give us heads up as to happenings right there at the governorship election going on in Edo State. Please stay with us.
Bitter leaf is a popular vegetable widely consumed in various parts of Africa, especially West Africa. It is highly valued for its numerous health benefits. Bitter leaf is a versatile vegetable that is indigenous to tropical Africa. It is well known for its medicinal properties and its culinary utilization in various African cuisines, particularly in Nigeria. Bitter leaves grow abundantly in countries such as Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, and Congo, with green leaves that has a characteristic bitter taste. Bitter leaf is a highly nutritious vegetable packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals. It is a good source of vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B1, and vitamin B2, which are powerful antioxidants that helps protect the body against oxidative stress. Additionally, bitter leaves contain a significant amount of minerals such as calcium, potassium, iron, and magnesium. It is also low in calories and rich in dietary fiber. Moreover, it is a good source of proteins and healthy fat. The plant has been used traditionally as a herbal remedy for various health conditions. It is known to help in the treatment of fever, malaria, hepatitis, and many digestive problems. Additionally, some studies suggest that it may lower blood sugar levels, making it potentially useful for managing diabetes. In West African cuisines, bitter leaf is a versatile vegetable used in various culinary preparations. It acts as a key ingredient in soups, stews, and traditional dishes, such as bitter leaf soup, egusi soup, and ofe onugbu. The bitter taste of the leaves add a unique flavor profile to these dishes. Bitter leaf can also be consumed raw or brewed as a herbal tea. Incorporating bitter leaves into meals can enhance flavor while also providing essential nutrients and promoting overall well-being. Bitter leaf is a remarkable vegetable with a unique taste and a range of potential health benefits. Its nutritional value, versatility in cooking, and cultural significance makes it a valuable addition to a varied and balanced diet. By incorporating bitter leaves into our culinary practices, we can enjoy its distinctive flavor while reaping its potential health rewards.
This Ofensala recipe is definitely a game changer. So you're going to start with a mix of yellow pepper, red pepper, and onions. Blend it into a smooth paste. Then you're going to boil your yams. Then you're now going to go in with a combination of turkey, goat meat intestine, and goat's meat. This iron fruit, aka uyaya, takes the flavor of your nsala soup to the next level. You're now going to add your blended uziza seeds, your blended pepper mix, your stockfish, and your seasoning cubes. Mix this all up together and then just cover the pot and allow it to come up to a boil. At this point, your yam is perfectly cooked and you're just going to blend this. You can choose to pound this if you want pounded yam, but for me, I prefer to blend it into a smooth paste. Then you're going to use the water from your boiled yam to add to your nsala pot. You're going to add your seasoning cubes and you're going to add your dried catfish. This is the thickener, which is my blended boiled yam. Like I said, you can use pounded yam if you want, and for those of us that don't have access to yam or are too tired, you can also use poundo yam to thicken your nsala soup. Now bear in mind that when the nsala soup gets cold, it actually becomes thicker, so you don't want the perfect consistency while it's on fire. You want it to be thick but not too thick. Then you're going to add in your uziza leaves, and the flavor of the uziza with everything combined just makes for the perfect soup. Don't forget to never serve your guests your nsala soup with the uyayak still inside. Let me know, was this helpful? Would you
We are live in Edo State for the Edo 2024 governorship election. This election is very important. It's a big day for the people of Edo State, and they will be voting for a new governor who will replace Godwin Obaseki, who will be completing his 8-year tenure in November. We are at Oredo Nursery and Primary School. That is in Oredo local government. It's in Benin, the capital of Edo State. But it's also a rack where materials are distributed to polling units. But if you can see, at this time, it is almost 9 a.m. and the materials have not yet been moved to the polling unit. So this is a signal to the fact that elections will start late in some polling units. Elections, according to INEC guidelines, voting should begin at 8:30 in the morning and it should close at 2:30 up until the last person on the line has voted. This particular rack also has a number of polling units, and these polling units are just, for some of them, they are just voting. It is not all, but just a few of them, because there are about 4 polling units at this particular rack. But we can see just 1 or 2 polling units have started voting at this time. So we expect that the process will get sped up. We will be speaking to officials who will be telling us what happened. But we spoke to some who said that there were issues with transportation. But we hope that this issue gets sorted out on time so that voting will start in those other areas. For Western Spring Television News, Olalekan Akindoju.
Welcome back. Thank you, Lekon Kindoju, Joseph Atewe, and the other correspondents who are giving us heads up as to happenings from Edo State right now. Thank you indeed. All right, it's Spring Delight from Western Spring Television, and I have the singular honor of hearing from very shortly. I know octogenarian, septuagenarian at this moment in time. We will definitely. It's giving us insightful analysis as to what to be expected and how we could actually correct some of these anomalies. It's been there. I remember you say, Prince Kanmi, Ademiluyi, thanking you indeed, sir.
Thanks for the invitation.
You made mention of something before we went on that break. Yeah. The first election in Nigeria took place in 1923.
That's a long time ago.
By now, we should have stepped up far better than this. We saw an election in the United Kingdom just a couple of months ago, and within hours, we know we
you can get the exit polls within 5 minutes.
Oh, goodness me.
Last voter.
An election is going to take place in the United States in November. Already, we know that quite a whole lot. But why is this taking this long for us to get it right in Africa, not just in Nigeria? But before we come into that, we have a colleague who is also in Edo State at this point in time. David Adeyemi is on the line from Edo State. Good morning to you, Mr. Adeyemi.
Good morning, Mr.
How are you today, and how is Edo State?
Well, Edo is undergoing election by election board. I have voted. It's going on very.
All right. Now, where exactly in Edo are you, and what is it looking like at this moment in time? This is some few minutes to 11. What is it looking like at this period in time?
Yes, I'm in Eastern Central, Edo Central local. I am voted new primary school in Idowu. So most of the meetings I spoke earlier in the day not started early. Right now, people are on queue, and INEC officials, the security people around here, people came out just for the rain in the morning. I think things would have been said, but for now, the election is going on. Around here, there is no violence, and then the INEC are on ground.
All right, let's look at the citizens, the electorates. For you, as one of them, is there this enthusiasm in them to say, yes, I'm excited to come out to vote today?
Well, that's an extra factor. There has not been really enthusiasm in voting over the years. Because people feel that vote will not count at the end of the day. And then there is some situations where things can just over the situation. So there has not been that enthusiasm historically in the past. Say for the in 19 where you have that. I think since then, Nigerians have been robbed of election results for due but as it is, at the polling said, we can still see some people who they just wanted to come out and exercise their vote. They are not party members, but they just came out, to just use their franchise.
All right.
But if you talk just in generally, Nigerian has not come to that level in election results, INEC.
All right. All right, Mr. Adeyemi.
The population is.
Mr. Adeyemi, are you there?
I'm here, I'm listening.
Okay, great. Now, what I will do is, because it seems as if the network interference isn't too clear, I will subsequently on most of our programs for today, we'll be getting across to you to give us heads up as to what is happening and how far has it been going in Edo State. So please, we'd like to thank you for being there. And please just stay on the line when we call, and just make sure your phone is available. I know how it is, how busy you will be today. Thank you, Mr. David Adeyemi, who is a public affairs analyst. Thank you, and keep doing the good work in Edo State and everywhere you go to.
Sorry, can I make an observation?
All right. Thank you. All right.
Let me make an observation before I forget it.
Yes.
I'm getting old. Yeah. I'm listening to his conversation. Obviously, the turnout there wasn't as impressive as the one that.
Where
but there's a key point that because of this backwardness, the institutional deficit, and the uncompetitiveness of the country as well, there must be thousands of people like Tunde in Edo State today. And there'll be thousands. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yes, there'll be thousands of people like you in Ondo State.
In Edo State.
No, after Edo.
Okay, in Ondo, November.
It's turn by turn.
Yes, please.
They are disenfranchised. How can you held your first election over a century ago? Unlike in Kenya. Kenya, just but my son is in Kenya at the moment, actually, or one of them. There was early voting for people like Tunde Edo, Joseph Atewe, Lekon, all these people. So that you vote a day or two before the election. Firemen. Is a fireman going to leave fire station now to go and vote? Nurses. Medical.
Essential workers.
Essential workers. For crying out loud. How can you, do you know the amount of essential workers who would have voted this morning if there was early voting yesterday?
I agree.
You are trying to tell me that you keep parading yourself as the largest country in the world,
and we're still where we are even over a century ago.
We're still where we were a century ago. When are we going to in Kenya? The Kenyans voted in 15 different countries. That's what I voted. You see, what we're celebrating in Nigeria is backwardness. You're advertising to the world your uncompetitiveness as a country. And contradictorily, your leadership is hopping from country to country looking for investment. Now, do you think anybody who has not lost his mind, he invests in a country like any credit risk analyst, when he tells Tunde Idowu and Co. to come and bring $10 million to invest in Nigeria. He doesn't factor in things like this. Such a credit risk analyst is a fraud.
Well, this it's really touchy, and but still, I just still because even if after almost a century ago or over a century ago, it's really not playing out right. Before I allow you go on my own shift this period in time, in Edo State, we have the People's Democratic Party as the ruling party there, but in Nigeria today, we have the All Progressive Congress, which they are there, the federal level, and looking at the ball game, the political ball game that has befell Edo State, looking at how what's it called, the governor, the incumbent governor, Godwin Obaseki, emerged governor, looking at the man who actually wants to play the Godfather. In Edo State, who is now a senator, Adams Oshiomhole. Do you, at any point, do you feel that the federal might thing would play in decision making in Edo State?
Oh, certainly. I mean, in a proper federal state, Obaseki or whoever is the governor of the state has total control of the state policing. Obaseki has no more control over the police in Ondo State than I have. So there's federal might. You can deceive yourself. Nigeria suffers from glaring institutional deficit. And that's been polite. Which means that I've always taken objection to using the word independent. National Electoral. There's nothing independent about it. Why don't you say independent central bank or independent Supreme Court? So the fact that you actually say that there's an independent electoral commission means that you are hiding something. In which way are these people? There is already a controversy about the relationship of the resident electoral commissioner with a certain politician. There are all kinds of conflicts of interest brought into play. Look, whoever is the resident electoral should be like Caesar's wife, totally above board. I think it is inappropriate for even a whiff of you cannot, you and I cannot have a dispute, a land dispute, a landlord-tenant. Today, who is my landlord, I'm his tenant. How can my in-law be the magistrate over the dispute? Today, Idowu versus myself, landlord versus tenant. And then my in-law is you see, look, there's something unreal about this country. The country has not shown any progress. I'm telling you. And you might say, oh, it's only politics. It's not only politics. This is where the danger is. Because your political institutions, the way you conduct your political affairs, indicates the strength, the competitiveness of the state. Is there a linkage between all these things? The ineptitude that you cannot start an election on time. You and I took exams. Tunde, from when you were in primary school, did you ever go to an exam that didn't start on time?
Yeah.
Does that tell you? No, if common entrance exam is that you and I did to enter secondary school. Did the exam start on time now? If because exam 2 has logistics.
Absolutely. It has to be moved to different schools.
They didn't print the exam question in the premises.
Yes.
So why can't you conduct that? That means that you do not have a strong state. If you have a state in which 35,000 people have to be, because you are taking people out of where they are needed. In a country, you have 400,000 police. If you go by the United Nations figures, you should have 2.1, 2.2. So you're at about 1/3 of that, about 130,000 of your 400,000 are attached to politically exposed people. So your policing system is based on regime protection rather than policing. That okay, you have 35,000 people in one state doing what? So okay, do the maths. Your maths is better than mine. If you need 35,000 people, security personnel to police a state election, what is 35,000 times 36 plus federal territory? It is obvious that the country is suffering from institutional deficit. This replicates itself across the board because that's why you have laughably incompetent airport. That's your first point of entry. It is from that your airport that a potential investor or a potential tourist is seeing whether this is a place that is worth my while. We're doing all these things. It's just politics. It's not just politics. We're sending very bad signals, and it's affecting us.
All right. Don't worry. In your lifetime, we'll get it right.
You are wishing me to get to about 100 or 110.
Oh,
Thank you very much. I claim it.
You know, I love to pray.
I knew that a million years ago.
Thank you, Prince Kanmi Ademiluyi. I'd like to let you know, esteemed viewers, that of course, virtually almost all throughout today, I would say we brought him to be part of us. Prince is a father, he's a friend of the house. Thanking you indeed for your insightful analysis every time. Thank you so much. As we proceed on, we will definitely keep you abreast as to what is happening live from Edo State and how it has gone and how it's going. We just hope and we'll pray, as always I love to do, that yes, it will be free, fair, credible, and peaceful. No doubt about it. Thank you all indeed for being a part of the show for today, and to the entire transmission team, the broadcast team, from our producers to the directors, to the camera team, the sound men, those who have worked endlessly, to our correspondents in Edo State, and to you there from Edo State as well. Please, let's make history by making this a peaceful, free, fair, credible election. We'll be back again next week, Saturday, on another edition of this program, Spring Delight from Western Spring Television. Tunde, Idowu is my name. Thank you indeed. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend, and God bless you.